Cosa, the ancient Roman town, Part 2. In every Roman city, the Forum was the center of public life. In this sense, the Forum of the city of Cosa has all the typical buildings of a normal Roman forum, that is, shops and buildings of public administration. One arrives at the Forum of Cosa by crossing a wide arch with 3 openings. From this arch, only the basis and the side wall are preserved. If you go through this arch, you first pass by commercial buildings. Then you get to the large middle open space, which is rectangular in shape and measures in length 90 meters and in width 30 meters. There are other shops on the right, and in the middle of them there was the fish market called Forum Episcarium. Also, on the opposite side of the entrance to the Forum, there were located commercial buildings. In front of these commercial buildings, there are small bases which served as a support for theater scaffolding. On the left-hand side, there are the buildings of the public administration. First, there is a justice building, called in Latin basilica. It has a rectangular floor plan and inside a colonnade. Another row of columns was located on the front side, thus separating the building from the square. A niche, still visible on the right wall, was reserved for the judge. This is followed by the building complex Curia-Comitium. In the background, there are 3 rooms which were reserved for the judges. In front of them, there are the circular steps of the Comitium. Here the meetings of all inhabitants of Cosa took place. This Comitium had no roof. The participants of the meeting sat on the steps for taking part in the discussion. Next to the Curia, there is the temple of the goddess Concordia, and behind one can see the underground prison. To mention is also the cistern of the Forum, which is located near the entrance. Outside of the Forum, there is the thermal bath of Cosa. You can still see the 4 burly pillars. The Acropolis, called in Latin arx and in Italian arche, is located on the highest point of the city and is the main place of worship in the town of Cosa. You can reach the Acropolis by the Via Sacra, the so-called Holy Road, which leads up to the defensive wall, which encircles the entire Acropolis and which is interrupted only by a single access. Entering to the area of the Acropolis, you notice on the right the small temple of the goddess Mater Matuta, goddess of the dawn, protector of newborn life and fertility. The temple in prostulous form stands on a low podium. In the front part is the portico with a row of 4 columns, of which remains are still visible. In the back was the cellar, the main room where the statue of the goddess was kept. At the end of the Via Sacra there is the Capitol, which was built on a high podium. It is a temple dedicated to the 3 gods Jupiter, Juno and Minerva. Each of them had its own cellar in which the respective statue of the god was kept. In the middle there was the cellar of Jupiter. On the left of it, the cellar of Juno, and on the right, the cellar of Minerva. Directly in front of it is an elongated basin created to catch rainwater. Before that, the pronaos was located, whose roof was supported by 4 columns. On the altar of the pronaos, the sacrificial rites and honor of the deities took place. From the Acropolis, you can enjoy a breathtaking view. On the left in the sea, there is the rock of the Formica di Ansedonia. In the distance, you can see the outline of the island Giannutri. Straight ahead is the Monte Argentario with the so-called Isolotto in front of it. To the right is the incomparable view of the 3 Tombolos. In the south, the forested Fenilia. Behind it, the lagoon with the town Orbetello, and in the distance, the strip of land Gianella with the town Talamone in the background. The hostilities between the Romans and the Etruscans didn't last long. As early as 89 before Christ, Etruscans and Latin settlers gained equally Roman citizenship. After the war between Mario and Sylla, the city of Cosa was destroyed. After that followed phases of reconstruction and renewed decline. On the surrounding land, Latifandor developed around Roman villas. In the 5th and 6th century, a military garrison was placed on the Acropolis. In the Middle Ages, on the site of Cosa, there was a castle, which was destroyed later on by the Sienese. Since then, the place is abandoned. Only since 1947, the American Academy of Rome began archaeological excavations. As a result, the museum was built on the foundations of the Roman house of Quintus Fluvius. This museum consists of 2 halls in which fragments of buildings from the city of Cosa are exhibited, in particular temple decorations of the Acropolis. In the showcases there are, among other items, objects of daily use such as cups, mugs, coins, hairpins, small surgical instruments. Also interesting are the small models of the Forum, the Acropolis and the Skeleton House. The second hall is dedicated to the port of Cosa and commerce. The museum and the archaeological site are open every day, in the winter months from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and during the summertime, that is from the end of March to the end of October, from 10:15 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. In exceptional cases, for example for theater performances, it happens that the tour is prohibited. Access to the archaeological site is free. The entrance fee for the museum, however, is €2 and is reduced to €1 for young people from 18 to 25 years. For minors, admission is free. On the first Sunday of each month, admission is free for all. For further information, please call 0564 881421. The archaeological site is easy to find as it is located on the highest point of the Ansedonia hill. However, if you want to use a navigation device as a precautionary measure, enter the following address: Museo Archeologico Nazionale di Cosa. The access is at the end of the street Via delle Ginestre, Ansedonia. A parking lot for visitors can be found at the approach left hand in the depth. Unfortunately, the parking is prohibited right outside the entrance gate, as it is evidently a national park. It is advisable to avoid the archaeological site during the hot summer hours. We also recommend sturdy shoes, sunglasses, and plenty of drinking water. To further deepen the history of the city of Cosa, we recommend the video of Alzavola Tagliata, as here, among other things, is presented the Roman port which was part of the city of Cosa. In the video Fenilia is spoken, among other things, of the remains of a Roman villa located there. In the previous video, Cosa, the ancient Roman town, part 1, you will find explanations about the history of the town of Cosa and the description of the city walls and of the dwellings.